Buddha.
No way, Jose.
I'm back. So I'm gonna try to do this. Try to do this without. I might have to reschedule this one for in the morning so we could talk about it. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Although they cut the streaming for a short time, they cut the streaming, so it's okay. But I'm finna go give you the story of this woman. This woman was shot multiple times. Not once, not twice, not 3, not 4 times, but 10 times. Her ex fiance shot her 5 times. Emptied the gun the first 5 times. First time shot it. Emptied it, emptied the gun and reloaded and shot it 5 more times. And then on top of that, she was pregnant. The cops didn't help her. New York City police didn't help her. She called the cop. All he did show them his badge. He either spoke to my side or in a separate room, and they just left. She crawled. Everything else. She would be dead right now if it wasn't for a young friend that came over. A young friend that came over. Hmm. Imagine that. Shot multiple times by an ex with a badge. NYPD detective worked to change the system that she says let her down, which the system did let her down. It's that system had let the justice system and cops have let a whole lot of people down. Okay. She she calls it the blue wall of silence. Each time Katrina Cook Brownlee called 911 after her correction officer fiance beat her. She said police walked away after seeing his shield. This was she shared with 48 Hours of CBS Morning News reporter Michelle Miller. She took matters into her own hand and joined the NYPD to change the system from within. Wow, she changed the system within. Here's Katrina's story. When I was advised as a undercover, I spent. She said when she was advised as an undercover, she spent approximately 18 months walking the street of Queens doing prostitution. The only difference was that she was working undercover, and this was their actual life. But but she said they had a lot of similar stories. You hear their story and not, but she was able to tell her stories. To hear their story, but not able to tell her story to them about her story and how she survived. It was heartbreaking a lot of the times. Katrina Brownlee, she said her name is Katrina Brownlee, and when she was 22 years old, she lived with her ex fiance in a house of horror. Just think about living in a house of horror with somebody that is abusive. He was a busted lips. It was also something she said would have been right, right. Uh, she said she don't remember not having a black eye, whether it had been the right one or the left one. It was a busted lip. It was also something that's why it became a symptom of hers. Bradley called the police on him several times. He was a New York City correction officer. Every time he would flash that badge, every time he flashed that badge, they would walk away. That badge was much more important than her life. Think about it. That badge was more important than a woman. That badge is more important than anybody else. Badge is more important than anybody else's life, and that what they still showing us. She got to the point where she feared for her safety and the safety of her no more. But when the decision was made to leave, the risk factor for Katrina went through the roof. Kerry Hizard it was a young district attorney, a young Caucasian district attorney. She says she don't think she in any way could have foreseen what was going to happen to her when she came through that door. Joel Knight, 1993, 11:30 a.m. Katrina Brownlee said he opened the door and he just had like a weird look on his face. It was strange. And he put a gun to her and said, "This is the day you die, bitch." Think about it. And he pointed the gun to her and said, "This day you go die, bitch." And he shot her in the stomach and then shot her again and cries. She cries. Kerry said he emptied the gun after the first five, reloaded, and proceeded to shoot her again 5 more times. Each time he would say to Katrina, "Are you ready to die, Katrina Bain? Is this the day you're going to die, Katrina Bain? You know you deserve this, Katrina Bain." This was a man on a mission. He was armed and deadly. This could have easily been a homicide, but because Katrina willed to live and willed to survive, it wasn't. It goes to show you have a will to survive anything. Okay, Katrina Bradley, God had a whole different plan for her. Her story starts from a very dark place. It becomes a story of grace and a story of love and a story of hope. Why did you want to become a cop? I wanted to become a good cop. That's a difference. Yeah, a good cop had empathy. A good cop cares about people that they have to protect and have to serve. She said she was a great cop. This man tortured me. Assistant DA Kerry Herzog would never forget the case file. The photo that she says, this is a photograph that says suffer to me. This shows a path of blood through the living room and leading into the adjacent room. It literally took my breath. Kerry said it literally took a breath away. Kerry rushed to the intensive care unit at Brookhaven Memorial Hospital on Long Island as soon as she learned the victim was still alive. There was a horror show unfolding right before her eyes. The first thing that came to her head is, how did this woman even survive? That was Kerry was thinking. That is a survival. There is something called survival in this world. You gotta have the will to survive. You gotta have the will to live. And this what this woman did. I will continue this story later on this morning. Peace.